And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time, Victoria 3 as the Great Qing. And we're gonna continue our electrification here. Unpausing the game, letting some time pass, letting some of our stuff build. Which, yeah, maybe unpausing and pausing every couple of weeks. Here it sounds food. Okay. I think the Royalist movement will calm down if we pass the Parliamentarian Republic. Got an event, the other side of the fence. And High Bay is one of the places we built a lot because of the explosives industry there. So it's going to be quite a few weeks for it to be done. There we go. High Bay is done. And we're actually all the way down to Zhejiang. So it's actually going to be two states. High Bay and Xi'an are done. First, let's do High Bay. So High Bay, turn on electric lights and the explosive factory to brine. And logging camp to sawmill. And I don't think you were not one of the ones with tobacco. Yeah. Although, as you can see, it only just finished, so it's not fully built up power production-wise, and we're pretty close to shortage due to just explosive factories. Explosive factories are a lot of power consumption. So yeah, here doesn't necessarily consume a lot. Turn on electric lighting and the logging camps. To electric sawmill. Yeah. And also I was thinking Xia. What was I thinking about Xia? Oh, yes. That's what I'm thinking of. Hardwood. So hardwood's up plus 23. Because of the electrification, softwood's down to 2. So let's do some more transitioning over to hardwood production. Logging camp. Okay. See how that looks. That's going to take at least a week to pass, I think, to get a good update. Which is going to allow more of the power plants to build. So, quite a few states we did from here to here this week. So we're electrifying here. Urban center. Textile mill. Logging camp. Oops. Eastern. Urban. Street lights. And logging camp. And it's gonna get sawmill, textile mill, and urban center. Yunnan, Gansu. Yunnan gets electrification. those two industries. And then Ganzhou. No, Gansu. Ganzhou is the one we're currently working on electrifying. That'll probably be next week. That one will be done. Urban Center. Logging Camp. Yeah. And then Hardwood up at 13, so we can still do more. That's probably, that might be too much. Cycle a week. Okay. So, Guangzhou, Southern, Sheng, all the way down to Northern Jillian. Okay. Again, mostly this is going to be electrical streetlights and sawmills. And sawmill. And streetlight. Sawmill. Formosa. Streetlight and sawmill. Streetlight and sawmill. Inner Mongolia. Streetlight and sawmill. And then that's the next one. Could do a little bit more on the hardwood. Let's do a couple more swaps. Okay. So then the northern Jillian's going to complete. Let's go there next. Urban Center, electrify the street light. And the logging camp. And pause and let some time pass. Revolution hasn't happened yet. We get the next roll in January on the Republic. This isn't progressing super fast, so I think we might get at least one more attempted pass on the Republic. Workplace safety hits 5. That's nice to see. Okay, another region ready for electrification. So this was all explosive factories. And the urban center. Northern Kubla and Urga are going to finish Perzinia. Northern Kubla? Kublu? Kabul. Let me see if I can pronounce that right. Kabul. Kabul. Urga. Oh, you were already swapped because you had the power plant already. Fair enough. And you were swapped already? So you had the power plant already. Okay. Another week, another state. That was 2 states, I think. Well, I'd already partially electrified this one. I may have. Tareem, was Tareem already electrified? No. It's now. Yep, is now. So then Turkestan is... got its stuff built. And is now electrified. Quetta. Now electrified. Oh, you didn't need electrification. We're building you right now. Okay. Cycle the day again. Cycle the week again, I mean. Got an event. Stable supply of power. So we've got enough power in enough places that we've gone ahead and got this event to throw. Like the advance towards electric railways. So you get electrified. And then Tuva gets electrified. Tuva was already electrified, wasn't it? Or at least partially? Partially. You're still being built because of delays there. Electrify you. You and you are delayed. So now we unpause and let some more build. At this point, I should probably just let the rest complete, and then we can put, and then we can manually do the full sector swaps. Or should be able at that point be able to do the full sector swaps. So yeah, the next thing I should probably build is looking like coal. That will help with our surplus of explosives as well. Turn the export tier off, or it is off. Explosives, good to see. So yeah, resources, coal. Could definitely tolerate building. So 10 is 800. 100 is 8,000. So we could build like 300 levels of coal. I might just build the entire coal industry and see where that gets us. Entire domestic coal industry, I mean. Should be more than enough at that point. Okay. So we'll unpause until we see coal here on the first page. In the meantime, we'll be watching for seeing if our law passes, and or if we need to cancel it due to the Royalist movement. The Royalist movement is definitely too strong to resist. So if it says, we give up, we give up. Oh, there we go. So with that, close this for the moment. Scroll up. So I should be able to electrify all the sawmills. Yes. So that means every area that has logging camp has electricity. Should be electrify all those, and all those, and all these. Some of them may not hire it up. Okay. Urban center somewhere didn't complete. Which one did not complete? Swap. Some place is missing its power plant. It's Angola. Where? I thought we queued a power plant for you. Must have missed you. Okay. Zambia, Botswana. Okay, so those were the two places we missed. Missed two being fixed. Once those are done, we should be able to, again, finish off all the electrification. At least the electrification we can do with the existing tech. Oh, and the tobacco should be on. Should all be able to electrify. There we go. I suppose we could check local price or power. The only problem here is this is not showing domestic. It's not filtered to domestic here. The problem with this menu. This is why I don't like using this menu. They sort by shortage surplus. Yeah, so Guangxi here is electrified. Is it a hiring issue there? No, it hired up fine. Am I just underestimating how much power the consumers are? What the consumer power demand is? A little bit. A little bit. Although I must... This is probably a place where we did a math error. Probably did a math error here. Oh no, it's still a 16 power plants left to build. But all the ones I queued up should be done. Or no, the civilian sector has decided we need 16 more. The civilian sector is not wrong. Apparently. Yeah, civilian sector. Right now we're not in a shortage, we won't worry about that. Kabul and you... Although the civilian has already queued up one there. Queue up one there. Get it out of shortage. I think those are... Yeah, those are abroad that I'm building there. Rot... Has one, but apparently wasn't enough. Has one, but apparently wasn't enough. Yeah, okay. So we'll recheck to see if that is enough when those power plants build. And we'll see if Parliamentary Republic here can succeed before the Royalist movement causes us to abandon the attempt. It's got an 89% chance of success. go. Can delay the royalist movement for a bit. This makes its next roll on August the 7th. I suspect the August the 7th is when we're going to have to complete it or give up. Arcades is more power, isn't that? Yes. Although, we probably have that power. We'll try turning that on and see what the deficit looks like once the power plant here is done. 4 weeks. There's trench infantry and repeating rifles, back to back. Nice. So repeating rifles on, and then we'll go ahead and begin the transition to trench infantry and all the armies. Oh, we might not lower the taxes temporarily. There's a reason for this. I'm gonna try to get the next law pass attempt to occur sooner. 30th of July, 7th of August, 29th of July. Okay. Speed this up. Take that roll. So either passes or fails. It passed. The fall of the Qing dynasty. With the stroke of a pen, 2 millennia of imperial rule has come to an end. As the last Manchu emperor is escorted out of the Forbidden City, the world shifts its gaze to the east. What does the new age hold for China? The Manchu yoke has ended at last, so we can piss off the Manchu people, which are actually a surprisingly small amount of population, and deplete the fragile unity by 1, or you can just take a hit on Han Pops, which is actually quite a few people. I'm going to try to keep both primary cultures, so we're going to go with the second one, even though that's going to cause more radicals. And we've gone blue. We're now China. Okay. And then I should be able to electrify you. Why did that not affect all my states? I mean, it's going to be the same in the arcade, at least. Okay. Which state did that not affect? Which state has somehow avoided a power plant? Botswana. It's just Botswana? Looks like it might have just been Botswana. I must not have any lumber camps there. Okay. So, we should now have a journal entry Stamp out monarchism. If the Civil War progress goes down below 75%, and we can keep that for 5 years, we will stamp out monarchy, and the fragile unity will be removed. Oh, and I can go ahead and raise the taxes again. We did arguably lose a decent amount of authority from losing the monarchy, so that would be the concern there. Yeah, these guys are calming down. Recently enacted will decline over time. Let's evaluate what's the power needs. Not that bad. Not that bad at all. Okay, so we can get away with ignoring the power for the moment. So we've done that stuff with the electrification. Electric railways is going to be the next one. There's maybe an argument I do not do electric engines, depending on how I feel about oil. Or electric trains, or either of them. Do I preserve all the oil for diesel engines, mass production, diesel pump? Or, well, I mean, all for diesel pump and mass production. Possibly, maybe. Yeah, then ask the question why I'm doing electric railways. Oh, we'll do radios. But yeah, we're gonna research electric railways, and then we'll contemplate whether or not we're doing electric railways. I don't think we need the engines right away. Yeah, now the biggest demand we can't solve is rubber and fish. Well, can't solve domestically. So the next thing we should probably build is actually art, because there's a surprising amount of demand for art. Although that might just be the fact we're exporting art. Yeah, we're exporting more than the demand difference. Okay, should be at the point where we may be able to take a swing at integrating Persia. 75% chance they may accept. That just raw. Loyal, expected military power difference, willingness at 0, liberty desire. Yeah, let's take the attempt. And of course, 1 out of 4 times they declare war, they'd be declaring war. Okay, who did I miss? Apparently missed another person, or downsized a power plant on me or something. I have a feeling because of what PMs it was on, that's an entirely new zone that we've got, right? Yeah. Which of course means there's no power plant there. Fair enough. New state, new power plant. Okay, what do we want to build? We're gonna build some art. Build 100 levels of art. Like so. Yeah, and for some of our resources, we're kind of in the weird post-scarcity world where we don't really need it. With the exception of the things we do need, because we've developed the entire local capacity to build it. It's like rubber. Yeah, there isn't a lot of rubber in China. And what rubber we do have, we've built. In fact, in all the places we can build rubber, there are 2 places left, and we will happily build all the rubber there. Lead, same thing. We're going to build what's left of the lead. I'm not going to worry too much about lumber. Do iron abroad. Let's do iron and sulfur abroad. Because again, this is a resource. These are resources that we, at this point, basically need to import. So, putting a bunch of them plausibly available on the global market to buy should benefit us. Well, also this provides ownership jobs in our country. Well, assuming our people buy it up. Well, I might need to do a... because I'm not on laissez-faire, I might need to do a privatization pass. Oh, who's the head of the current government? The Democratic Republic? Yep. led by the Communist Party. For how long? Who knows? Probably at least until the next election. The entrenched front. Zone Rouge and get Trench Rat, Organist Lay. You can't let them stagnate, which is what we're gonna go do. Here's Electric Railway. Again, I don't think we're actually gonna follow that up necessarily immediately with electrification. And before I forget, let's do a pass on privatization. Make sure everything's being privatized. The government owns. That can be, of course. Oh yeah, a bunch of stuff that I owned wasn't being privatized. So no, that means the private queue isn't going to be adding to the private queue for a while, because it's going to be privatizing all my stuff. Industrialists are steaming. Yeah, no, we can power the industrialists. I'm on board with that. We don't need them joining the royalist movement, just as it's calming down. Oh, it decided to become one front instead of two fronts. That's what's happened there. Okay, I think we occupy that capital, so they should be surrendering soon. Yeah. So right now we've got a upwards effect from timed modifiers from trying to annex Persia on all our subjects. Let's try to do what we can to reduce that. We are going to go ahead and multiply that again as soon as we're done with Persia, but if we can keep them so the next one may not rebel, that would be good. In theory, I don't need the pay from these guys, so we can reduce the pay and reduce, or exempt them from physically joining us in all the wars. So I'm basically doing two things that remove like half the modifier here from the annexation we just did. Maybe enough for us to keep it low, due to how large our army is and such. Art silks spread. Working on radio. Radio is going to be another pass where we just got to do an electrification pass. Because it's going to add 50 power consumption per electrics industry. Which is a lot. That's one power plant per electrics industry. And we got places where we got electrics industries, we got a lot. Got a new election. And the Stomp Out Monarchalism journal entry is progressing. We have annexed Persia. Persia is no longer a member of our bloc, obviously. Is that most of it, except for, of course, electrification, because they hadn't adequately electrified themselves. This a state? And then oh, it's probably an African state. Yeah, it's an African state. Okay, so obviously you need to go through and electrify those states. What's going to be the best way to go through those states? Yeah, what's going to be the best way to go through those states? That's a good question. They should all be down in the unincorporated territory list. Oh, that's not a good way to do that. Okay, I'm going to do this sort of the brute force way, which is probably not the best way of doing this. Power plant-wise, we're going to sort domestic by whom has none. We're going to shove one in all the states that has none. So, presumably those are all the new states. We're going to shove those at the beginning of the queue. And then we're going to wait for them to finish. And then what we can do when that's done is I can electrify them and see what the shortage is. Just making sure there's none of the other PMs that are wrong. Too wrong. Okay. So yeah, I think the next one we should integrate is Tibet, because that's going to give us physical direct connection access to those 3 states. It's a toss-up between that and Korea, so we'll look at see which one's most likely to surrender. So Korea I'm currently committed on diplomatic plating. Can't make that decision right now. Okay. Oh, no, we'll power the religious instead of the conservatives. Oh no, the conservatives are running. They're the liberals. Okay, they're also liberal. That's fair enough. They are, in fact, the liberals. I'd rather not empower the conservatives. With that option. The communists still have the majority of the vote, so they're probably going to win. There's radios. Including factory radios for tobacco plantations. Okay. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this electrification is we know it is one additional power plant per electrics industry. So Western Guangdong has 105 power plants. Or 105 electronics industries. So it needs 105 more power plants. Urga has 12. So it needs 12 more power plants. Chongqing had 52. So it needs 52 new power plants. Jiangxi has 52. So it needs 52 new power plants. Fujian needs 50 power plant, 50 additional power plants. You need 18 power plants. You need 53 power plants, 54 power plants. And you need 42. Okay. And then that's probably more important than building the stuff abroad. So you can slam the stuff abroad all the way to the bottom of the queue. Which just means they're going to be cooking like 800 something times. Clickety. And we keep clicking, clicking, clicking. And again, just click 800 clicks. The alternative probably would have gone to the bottom and shoved everything to the top. Although that would have shoved the... You notice I'm doing it underneath the existing power plants we got in the queue. And I didn't want to move those ones. Oops. That one too far. Clicked one too many times. Although one too many times is a lot less than one would be worried about. Okay, there we go. And we unpause and wait for that to be built. And when it is, It will be radio time. We have old days. Not this guy's what he wants. Again, that's the Conservative Party. We want them out of power, otherwise stamp out monarchism is not going to progress. I did deploy troops to that, right? Yeah, they're not... No, I haven't deployed troops. Wait. Deploy a second army over here just because I have got 2 fronts we gotta fight on. Listen, when I... Fertile ground. Sure, let him battle his piece away from Beijing. Okay, we won't build all the power plants at once, although we'll have most of them built at once. It was also a lot of power plants. Swords and plowshares. Arguments about the people's role in the military command has prompted a spat between the Green Party and the Conservative Party. Especially, no knowledge what he speaks. There is a reason the armed forces are to handle their own affairs. We are specifically trying to do so, and the common people simply cannot be expected to hold the same level of knowledge. Yes, the people know. Public support for pacifism, and the farmers. Okay. Yep, and we've broken 2 billion GDP. Okay, there's one of the colonial wars over. Oops, hand-carrying machine gun, which will make our troops a little bit better. Okay, so in 10 weeks, all those power plants will be done, and we can do radios. Nitrogen fixations next. Which will give us a lot of demand for oil, which is good. No, I don't need their general. Famous cafe. Get a land reformer. Or you can really question this poor guy's, the royalists. Yeah, the royalists' opinion is questionable. Oh, and we can reform the government. Is this the most stable government? It's tied. We can keep the current government. We can go full power to the communists, or I can even bring the church in. You like closed borders? Oh, I could... How stable? So we can bring you in. Would that be a stable government? That would be a stable government. This would allow us to get on to protected speech. I think. Yeah, both these guys are favoring protected speech. The liberals... So we can do protected speech guaranteed liberties pretty easily here. Yeah, that overrules the outlawed dissent, which is nice. Okay, let's do that combo for the moment. And we will make the swing from censorship to protected speech. But yeah, weaken a person who's not actively in government's power. That works for me. Okay, so that's not quite all the power plants, but that's enough of the power plants, I'm going to say. So that should be all the ones we needed for the electric industry. So we do radio production. Maybe even be enough to do arcades. We missed a couple for those, okay. Okay, so we've gone, electrified all the textile mills. All the explosives are electrified. We got a couple of urban centers we missed. Is that enough to electrify all the log camps? Yes. And all the tobacco plantations. Cool. Now let's see if we can use this to find the missing one. Scroll, 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 scroll. It's gonna be like one in Africa somewhere. Kurdistan. Persian Kurdistan. It's obviously not owned by Persia anymore. We gotta... Oh, that is the one we're building. That is the only one we're building. Okay. That's the missing one. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. That I understand. That makes sense. The only place that isn't electrified is the one you're still building. We'll cycle a week, and then we'll revisit power supplies. Okay, so this place needs a bunch. Got 20. 20 should be providing 1,000. Okay, so you gotta hire up. You don't need more, you need to hire more. Fair enough. Clearly. Is that the same here? Kind of. We'll toss another one there. And another 2 there. Another one there. Another one there. And that'll probably be enough. Okay, that's all the revolts in the realm. So now we want to evaluate. We got no possibility of them accepting their surrender. So if we're going to fight them, we don't need to do them next. Where's Tibet? There's Tibet. Tibet surrender. 64% chance. Like, confirm, see if they do. And they don't. We're waiting for people to partake of our radios. Because I think we are the only supplier in the world market of radios. Okay, there's a little bit of arbitrage apparently in the Dutch market, but we are the world's primary supplier of radios, so as people realize they can buy our radios, will buy our radios. Film unlocked. I'm not sure we're going to jump to that right away. I will do market-wise. Radio. We're actually going to put a subsidy on export for the moment. Oh, that's import. Do it. I'm going to put the subsidy on export for the moment. To encourage more people to buy us and not other people. Fourth Tibet breaks out. Free speech pamphlets. Okay. Is there anything I really want to build, or do I want to leave things to the private market to build up? Maybe some groceries. Yeah, maybe groceries. Queue up 50 levels of groceries. Sort by unemployment. Oh, also I should probably build railways where we got logistics shortage. Okay. And yeah, we're in that awkward spot where we're kind of unstable around 1.92 billion-ish. Probably due to oversupplying various things. Like the radios we're oversupplying. We're actually past the sweet spot where your GDP maxes on that supply. So we need to sort of encourage more people to buy radios. Although that's kind of that tends to be the case with the luxury stuff. Although everyone right now is coming to buy our radios, which is good for us. We are the one and only supplier of radios in the world. And it's coming up, right? So the sweet spot is... I think it's a little bit before... It might be 20%. Minus 20... It's a little bit before minus 20%, I think. Is the sweet spot from GDP contribution from a particular good. So it's not... Probably not going to spend a long time below that. So that was a new market. It's good for us. Although, definitely do with more rubber. I literally don't even think there's more rubber in the world to build. We could do with more rubber. I stand corrected. There is, in fact, more rubber in the world to build. Not much more rubber in the world to build, but a little bit more rubber in the world to build. Yeah, so we could do more rubber. Again, we could do with more lead. Oh, as our space in Africa grows, we are getting access to more lead over in Africa. Okay. Although not much. Probably the same sort of logic for iron and sulfur. So that's the iron and sulfur. It gives us a little bit of a queue, buys us some more time before we need to really have deep and difficult thoughts about what we're going to build. For the moment, we're come up over just an hour here, so it's time once again to put a part break in. Should be less electrification, although we might electrify the art academies next. Apparently, someplace I've built, we don't have power somewhere. Yeah, we might do the electrification in the art academies. It's 5 power each, so it's a 1:10 ratio power plant to art academy. We don't actually have that many art academies, and they're pretty centralized, so we might do it by the... Actually, I think all these places are powered, so what I could do is I could just turn them on, and that might work. Just turn the PM on and go hunt that way. New states with the PMs that are not up to date. Oh, did we finish annexing Tibet? Yeah, it's Tibet and Persia, probably. Oh, it might also have been some of Africa? Yeah. Yeah, in a little while we'll probably want to go through and do the transport for rail transport. Oh, I should do another another pass on tax capacity. That's what I should do. Although, that should be in the next part. Let me stop getting distracted. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow where we unpause and probably once and for all get over 2 billion GDP. We've got another 21, 22 years left in the game here. It's between the two of them. Not quite 22 whole years, but it's a little bit more than 21 years. So we'll see how quickly we get through that. We're not going to get through all of that in the next hour, so there will be another stream of this. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. There's going to be a short break here while I'll take a break to get up, stretch legs, sip some tea, and then we'll be back to record another hour for the night. And we'll see how far we get in that hour. So until the next part, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.